Okay, now you want a cheesy poof. We're keeping this fella fed. Here, I got a cheesy poof for you, big guy. There you go. You want another cheesy poof? Oh. Say, yeah, I want a cheesy poof. That good? Yeah. Okay, things are going pretty swimmingly so far, I think. Well, my little tadpole seems to be happy. He's swimming around. Seems to be doing alright. Let's grab our fishing pole and see if we can't fish a little more. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll catch something we need. No. Remember, some rocks and stuff like that. Stuff I can't complete yet. Hey. I wonder how I release the little guy. There you go, little dude. Released into my pond. They seem reasonably happy. Okay, 3 of those purple flowers. Oh, yeah. I gotta water. Not bad. Okay. Let's grab some of those purple flowers. If we can. I think it said we need 3 of them. Good? Okay. So, we need... Those are... I don't even know what to call those. I'll call them cranberries for now, but I really don't know what those are. I could plant a couple more of these. There you go. Take root. Excellent. Alright, you need one too. Come on. I haven't figured out how... There we go. I haven't quite figured out how I take hold of those things. I think it's both buttons at the same time. Oh, yeah. Okay, I need... Still going now. Alright, so... For a storage chest... It's telling me I need these bulbs that kind of look like onions. Then I need wood, and then I need a rock, and then I need a pink flower. Bulbs that look like onions. That is some wild stuff. I don't know what the bulbs that look like onions are. Maybe I can check out the other island and get lucky and see whether or not there's a bulb that looks like an island, onion over there. Also, what are you wanting? I'll get you one. Hold on. Also, I don't think this is it. Yeah, I can't remember where the hell I put them. These are carrots. These are the red beets. And, oh, I got too much stuff growing. And let's prioritize. Don't worry about him for now. Pengu can handle things himself. At least until I find an onion. Maybe he'll get lucky and find some. Usually traveling up high helps me in video games. Get a good perspective on things. Oh. That's interesting. Oh. Okay. I think I can contribute that. Alright, no onions up there, but that was interesting. Let's see what we got over here. Cheesy poofs. It's no help to me. White flour, maybe? Oh, that shows me how to make a dock. That helps, thanks. Onions, onions, onions. Oh. It's these. These are the cranberries from the picture. I really just need one in order to get it going. Now I just need to locate those onion things. Whoa! Thank God there's no fall damage in this game. Because that would have been one of my lives. Whoa. Whoop. I'm okay. Alright, we'll now go make a seed packet out of it. These kind of look like tomatoes on the close-up. They don't look like cranberries. They look like little tomatoes. Let's start growing them. I think we have some spare space over here. Oh man. Boy, my plants are suffering succotash. Yeah, I'll get you a kebab. Greedy ass floating cow. Might need to replant those. I feel like I need to replant these. I guess they just haven't grown any cheesy poofs yet. I go now. Until I find a place for these, which I'm sure I will, inevitably. Okay, so much to do, so little time. So go ahead and just plant whatever I have. Right, but I need terraces for these. I need to put some of these seeds up. Say the most challenging part in this game so far is inventory management. Really kind of hoping that that was going to take out the stump, but okay. No. It's just swinging right through. Please add stump grinder to game. Go. Yikes, I have 8. I have to put somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna find all these terraces. There we go. Alright, and just FYI everyone, I had wanted to do Garden of the Sea and Farming Simulator, excuse me, not Farming Simulator, Garden Simulator tonight. But due to the fact that Hurricane Milton is bearing down on Florida, and I happen to live in Florida, I have to get a little bit of rest tonight in order to head up to the store and supply up and get everything ready for the next 2 days. And if you happen to live in Florida, especially Central Florida, please be aware of evacuation orders and make sure to follow any of the suggestions from your authorities. Local authorities do know what they're doing, I promise you, and they just want you to be safe. So if they ask you to evacuate, I promise you, it's for your own good. Please follow their orders in an orderly fashion, and you'll be much safer. Just know that this storm's going to be really, really, really dangerous. No, I'm not in a flood area, thankfully, so I don't think I'm going to have any incredible danger from the storm other than maybe wind. I was very fortunate that my father selected an area to live in that is not in a floodplain. That being said, we are absolutely surrounded by people that are in a flood area. This entire area, the entirety of the First Coast, all the way from the tip top of Florida all the way down to like Daytona, is pretty much like sea level, like right on par with sea level. And with stuff like that, it's very easy for people to sort of, I don't mean to use beer as a verb, but beer away the sort of danger. And I kind of want to remind people that, you know, it's probably not a good idea during a Category 5 hurricane to be dismissing this particular one. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not too bad. It's coming in Wednesday. I think Wednesday morning the weather will start. And it'll pretty much continue until Wednesday night. It'll cross the entirety of Florida. It looks like it's going to make landfall at about Tampa Bay. And it's going to cross almost exactly metropolitan Orlando across the center of Florida. And it's going to kind of swing upwards a little bit. So it probably is going to come and exit Florida somewhere around Cape Kennedy. That's not a great place for a large storm to be crossing, especially considering that there's a lot of people live in mobile homes in that area. And it is the law, by the way, for people to anchor their mobile homes deep into the ground. But it is Florida too. And we all know how Florida gets every now and then. You crazy Floridians and your parties. Just know that this storm is not going to be one to mess with. And if the local authorities tell you to evacuate, please do so. So tomorrow I'm going to be heading up and getting just, you know, modicum of what you know are the supplies that we usually get, and hunker down for a few days. Probably take about 2 or 3 days to recover from this one, so I don't know if I'm going to be back on the air by Friday, but I can assume that I am. It's going to be a little tricky to know for sure. During the worst hurricane we've ever had, which was Matthew, I want to say, was maybe the worst one that we've experienced. During Matthew, we lost power for like 2 or 3 days, and that was pretty rough. You know, the community banded together, so it wasn't as bad because our neighborhood bands together when shit happens, but there were quite a few neighborhoods around this area that didn't band together, and it was very embarrassing for them. Like, they were on, some of those neighborhoods were being interviewed by like CNN and Fox News, and there were people going, oh, we're all like starving, and there's no way we can bring any food, and FEMA's dropping the ball and all that. And I'm like, dude, you got like a grocery store literally 1 block away from you. I live in that area. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, the Publix is open. Just go into Publix. So, I don't know. Florida kind of gets a little goofy every now and then when hurricanes show up. So, we'll see how it turns out. That kind of stuff does annoy me, though, because it makes Floridians kind of look bad. I'm not really a fan of, like, you know, oh, woe is me, the end of the world has come and all that, and then they point the camera 2 feet to your left and everything's fine, yeah. And that kind of stuff seems to happen in Jacksonville a lot around hurricanes. And I'm not a fan of Jacksonville. Never have been. That's why I prefer places like St. Augustine and surrounding areas. I don't know if y'all remember the San Marco incident with Geraldo Rivera from Jacksonville. But it was kind of a little infamous. And I don't remember exactly which hurricane. I want to say it was like Hurricane Matthew, but it probably wasn't. Probably a different one, but yeah, like, I don't know. That whole thing was just a circus. It wasn't just Geraldo. It was Jim Cantori. It was everybody that was involved in all those big media outlets coming down and being like, "Hey, you guys are going to get a direct hit. What's going on? Tell us a little bit about your city." And these people were just like, "I got all kinds of beer, woo!" It's like, oh, I don't know if I want that person representing us. I mean, we got 1.5 million people here. Is there any way we can get a better representative? Well, I still haven't located those onions yet. Where would I get onions from? I had more of an indication of where to get these plants from. I don't exactly know what those are, so we'll leave those alone for now. Yeah, with this particular hurricane, I'm just kind of hoping that that it's relatively uneventful. What's unfortunate about it is I know for a fact that there's going to be power outages. That just comes with the territory. I know for a fact there's going to be trees down. That's just how hurricanes are. It's just, what worries me is the people that stay in their homes during the flooding. You know, I know that I wasn't really affected by a flood. I was affected by a fire. And so most people would say I don't know shit all about what I'm talking about, but water can be unbelievably dangerous. Water can be just unbelievably dangerous. If you don't believe me, scoop some dry the potting soil into a PVC bucket, right? And then put a really heavy weight on top of it. Put a really heavy weight on top of it on a dish. That way it kind of distributes its weight on top of the soil. And then pour some water in there and watch that thing rise. That's the kind of power that's behind little simple things like water soaking into the ground. It's terrifying. Water has a lot of strength. Especially floodwaters. Yep, You've seen houses going down. It's a scary, scary thing, isn't it? Looks surreal. It looks like it's not even real. Now, I haven't seen houses get carried away. I've seen cars get carried away. I've seen big chunks of structures get carried away. Pieces of stuff. Signs and bits of buildings and all that. But yeah, I mean, there you go. A house being carried down the Merrimack. That's a perfect example of exactly how powerful water can be and how fast it can be. It's terrifying. And what worries me really is the people that drink. There's nothing wrong with drinking. Well, I'm not going to say there's nothing wrong with drinking. There's quite a few things wrong with drinking. Nothing wrong with drinking off a hurricane, I was going to say, but I don't think that's true. But my point about saying that is you can catch yourself unprepared, I guess you could say. You can catch yourself completely not ready. There was a bridge and the water was 50 plus feet below and the water was so high it went over the bridge at 20. Wow, we have a bridge like that too. And it does exactly the same thing basically. Yeah, we have a bridge just like that. Does exactly the same thing. It's terrifying too because people still try to cross it. No matter how bad the water gets, people still try to cross it. You'll hear people yelling at them while they're crossing it. Stop! No! Don't go any further! I mean, they couldn't get any clearer as far as what they're trying to tell the person. This person's just like, whatever. Oh my god, my car, I can't believe it. What happened? I could have never anticipated that my car would be swept away. Whoop. Top of the stoplights. Wow. We have a few areas here that the flooding gets really bad because they're built kind of on the banks of the former banks of a lake. Because of various climate changes and all that, the lakes around Florida have really kind of retracted a little bit, and they're not as big as they used to be. And in some cases, you can get areas that during periods of really bad flooding just plain turn into a lake. And it's so fast and it's so shocking for people that they don't even have time to gather their stuff. I currently live near the confluence of the Mississippi River and the Missouri River, and that floods often. Yeah, totally. You've been lucky in the last few years, though. I would imagine that at some point there's going to be probably a really bad flood in the Mississippi. But I mean, that's one of the largest rivers in the world. You know, and so keep in mind that's what rivers do. I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh man, it hasn't happened in forever. That's what rivers do. Rivers flood. Like for people going, it'll stop. It's just a cyclical thing. I'm like, no. Rivers don't stop. Rivers continue to flood throughout all of Earth history. I mean, they're never gonna stop. Like, you're not gonna have a period where it's like, oh wow, it's just, I guess the river just gave up on the whole flooding thing. It's just not cool anymore. All the cool kids are flooding, you know. There's that boat. I didn't even notice it up in the tree. Yeah, that's what rivers do. I mean, ancient Egypt, one of the oldest civilizations in the world, maybe even the oldest, I don't know, I'm not a historian, was originally called Kemet. K-E-M-E-T, and in that language, it meant the area of black sand, or the land of the black sand. And that meant floodwater. That meant floods coming in and washing over this soil over and over again, leaving black soil. I can tell you right now, that's the kind of soil that quite a bit of Florida has. And so, yeah, flooding has been a thing since the beginning of time, since the very first days of civilization. I still don't know where they get these damn onions from. Maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll catch it. I'm so confused. All I can think is maybe I'll catch an onion or something. I guess we could try. I seem to only be catching tadpoles, but I've only tried it twice. Well, I'll tell you what, let's put this aside real quick. And we'll grab my fishing pole and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, look. Still got my little tadpole swimming around in there. Still haven't figured out what he eats. Might not eat anything, I don't know. No bites out there. How about down here anywhere? I guess I have to toss it out in an area where they're getting bites and stuff. Like that. Come on. Okay, another tadpole. These tadpoles are weird. I don't know what to do with them. It's just like, oh, it's an adorable tadpole. Okay, I guess I'll put it in my lake. I guess I'll turn into frogs, maybe. How many do I have at this point? I just have one, right? Or do I have two? Well, now I have two. I thought I had three. Where's the other one? Let's see what else we can catch. Oh. Yay! It's another one. And I also can't figure out how to take them off of the... I can't figure out how to take them off of the thing without dropping the fishing rod. Maybe I'm supposed to, I don't know. Ooh, that looks like a different colored one. They seem pretty happy in there. Swimming around with their little friends. Oh, another... Interesting. Okay. Yet another... Oh. Alright. Well, shit. This is pretty addictive. Let's go ahead and save. We'll go ahead and save and quit. I had fun. Normally I would play for about 4 hours, but because of the hurricane coming up, I've decided to call it on this one. On Friday, I'm going to be back and I'm going to debut Garden Simulator. Man, I think I'm going to follow that up with something else fun. Because I have a few games involving farming and gardening that we're going to be doing, all leading up, of course, to the debut of Farming Simulator 25, which is going to be in November. I also, this month, have Subnautica coming up in just a couple days. I'm hoping to debut Subnautica on Sunday. That's going to be the beginning of our sort of spooky games, because I've heard there's a lot of jump scares in Subnautica. Yeah, I think it's a fun little game too, Reganation. I enjoyed it up until the very, very end there, where it was starting to drag a little, because I was just like, yeah, you grow stuff and then you feed it to your animals and all that, you know. I'm curious. I have a few games that are similar to that. And so we're going to be going back and forth and trying out those games and sort of compare them. And maybe we can find like a best of all these little games, you know what I mean? There's quite a few of these fun little games, and I think if we just sort of cycle through them, we can find some of the best. But I think as an early game, Garden of the Sea is a lot of fun. It could stand to be a little more full of stuff to do, but it definitely kept my attention. Dinkum, I think that's on my wish list. Is that the one that takes place down under in Australia? I think that's on my wish list, if I'm not mistaken. So I got, let me take a peek at the list of the stuff that I got. So other than Garden Simulator, which I'm going to be trying out this week, I also have I Am Future. Now, I don't know if you've heard of I Am Future, but it's a cozy apocalypse survival game. And so it's got like fishing and growing stuff and everything like that. Only it takes place after the apocalypse, I guess. Oh, you do have that game. So I'm going to be trying that out. I've got Medieval Dynasty. I haven't tried that out yet, and I've heard that has some growing stuff and all that. Let's see. definitely going to be jumping on Subnautica this month. Yeah, I think that's it as far as the Steam stuff that I have lined up. I have quite a few things on Epic that I have lined up as well. Plus, that's really just the farming stuff that I have lined up. I also have Electrician Simulator, Construction Simulator. We're going to be going back to Astroneer to check out the new update at some point soon. Monster Hunter World is coming up before the holidays. We're going to be returning to No Man's Sky at some point. Planet Zoo is coming up during the holidays. We're going to be probably trying out the game Tracks, which is a train set game, which is great fun, sometime around Christmas. And we're probably going to be playing, this is a game, an indie game, but it's called Wrestling Empire. And it kind of pokes fun a little bit at the genre, and it's known for being quite janky, and I was kind of looking forward to it. So we're going to try out some of those, and that's just the games that I got listed on Steam. I have even more games listed on Epic Games and my various other launchers that I have. So, yeah, this week, forgive me for taking a bit of a short stream. I appreciate y'all's patience. And hopefully after the hurricane, we'll all be okay. And you can hear that my voice is kind of giving out a little bit. It's been a very busy weekend. And an even busier week as we have to deal with Hurricane Milton, of all things. The Ranchers on Steam. I'll take a look at that. I do have Ranch Simulator on Epic. And that's installed and ready to go. And I haven't even touched Ranch Simulator yet. And that's one of the games that I'm going to be playing with before Christmas, probably. So, alright, y'all. Take care of yourselves. If you're in Central Florida, please obey what the local authorities say. If you need to evacuate, get your ass out of there as soon as possible. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. And I shall see you on the other side of Hurricane Milton, everyone. Cheers. Mwah. Love you all.